It's Joe.
To prove I could handle owning my dream pet, I first had to look after a series of other creatures, each one bigger than the last.
OK.
Well, so let's start with the dream pet, shall we, that we're working towards.
OK, what's the dream pet?
The dream pet was a lizard.
Whoa,
A lizard?
I would have picked a bigger dream pet than that.
And
You'd have to, wouldn't you?
And what was the sequence of animals you had to work up to?
So I started off with woodlice.
Woodlice?
Yeah.
Woodlice. They make a lovely pet.
Basically, what happened was, my mum said, you can't have a lizard. You need
How
to prove...
big was your lizard that you were hoping for?
One that could, like, fit on my forearm like that.
That big?
Yeah.
An iguana? A big
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
You're not thinking of a crocodile?
No. So my parents were like, if you want to get a lizard, you obviously got to prove that you can look after animals.
And how did you prove with the woodlouse that you were a responsible owner?
I had to just look after them for a week and keep them alive for a week.
How did you do that with the woodlouse?
Just let them get on with it. Turns out they're pretty good. They can look after themselves.
So you took a woodlouse from under a stone.
And a log.
And under a log, great.
I'm sure it wasn't a vlog.
What are you doing?
Writing that joke
All
down.
right, yeah. So you took the woodlouse, and what did you put it in?
In a little plastic container.
With food or with...
Bits of the log, bit of grass, that kind of thing.
Sounds like lousy accommodation.
Don't write that one down, Rob. At the end of the week, it was still alive.
Yep.
And your parents said, great, it's time to upgrade to
Stick insects.
Oh, where did you
Quite a big
find
jump.
that?
So my cousin had some, and I was
Yeah.
really jealous of them, and I really liked them, so he gave me some of his. And then I looked after them for a bit.
How did you look after them?
I had, like, an empty, like, lollipop jar.
What had to happen to the woodlouse, though?
I forgot about it. They're actually quite boring pets. They don't do a lot.
They're not very affectionate, are they? Woodlouse. But it wouldn't be better if they were.
Thing is,
Go into the garden, all the woodlice are bounding up to you, trying to lick your face.
that's the thing.
And how long did you have to keep the stick insects alive?
Just for another week.
And then at the end of that week...
This is where it all changed.
Oh,
so then was
okay.
my first trip properly to the pet shop.
Right.
Horse.
I then got 2 giant African land snails to
right.
look after, and that was a whole different ball game. You've got to keep them moist at all times. So you've got to make sure it's, like, warm and wet, because they like that. That's when they're
Right.
most active.
So what did you keep them in?
A big container, like a big, like what you put, like, stuff in and put it under your bed. What's it called?
Drawer?
That's it, like one of those plastic drawers.
Lovely hot, wet drawer.
Yeah.
Great.
Did you give these land snails names?
I did, yeah. Stanley and Shelley.
Named after...
Shelley. I like that.
Shelley, because...
Shelley.
Yeah.
Write that one down, Rob.
Yeah.
You may be good at dancing, but I'll decide which jokes make my book.
OK.
What was the next step after the snail?
The next step would have been the lizard.
Yes.
But it's the fact that I had these snails for so long, I just got bored of wanting any pet. It made me realise that maybe I'm not ready for
Very
any pet.
good parenting,
Yeah.
I would say, isn't it?
Literally waiting for the snails to die put you off the lizard.
All right, what do you think?
It sounds believable.
Sounds
Does sound
believable. I think it's true.
You think it's true? So, Joe, were you telling the truth then, or were you telling a lie?
It is, in fact, true.
Yes, it's true. It's Lee.
One Saturday morning, I lay on my back in the garden and pretended I'd fallen off a ladder so that I could get out of a family trip to IKEA.
David Steve.
What had you been supposedly doing on the ladder to fall off it?
So, my wife said we're going to IKEA, and then you should be upset if I said no. So I said, yeah, no problems. Can we go in about an hour? She went, yeah, no problems. Why? And I said, because I've got to do something in the garden.
Yeah, what were you doing?
Trimming the tree.
So you said, OK, we can go to IKEA in an hour. I've just got to go and trim the tree.
I didn't say I'm going to trim the tree, obviously. I said I've just got something to do in the garden.
Why is it so urgent that this tree needed to be trimmed?
You're not following this story, are you, Sean? I didn't need to trim the tree.
Yeah, but surely wouldn't she go, we'll do it later?
Because it was a casual conversation. We're going to IKEA. Can we go in about an hour? I've just got to do something in the garden. She went, yeah, that's fine. And that was it. Right. We don't live in a relationship where I go, can we go to IKEA? I go, can we go now? I'm doing something in the garden. She doesn't sit me down, put a spotlight on me, and go, just to sing in the garden.
OK.
But you did potpourri last week!
So you say you've got to do something in the garden. She says, fine. So you walk out into the garden.
Yes. Go to the
Explain
shed.
how you set the scene.
I go to the shed, right?
Yeah.
I pick my tool wisely because I want to make sure that when I've fallen with it, that it looks dramatic.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So what did you
Bit
pick?
of secateurs, nothing. Those big giant ones. You know which one I mean? They look like those old-fashioned bull workers with a pair of scissors at the end.
The telescopic handles.
That's one. I still needed a ladder. You're not going to get me on that.
Do you climb to the top of this ladder? Do you actually...
I don't need to, do I? There's no trimming to be done. I mean, are you fucking... Anyone else? There's no... I'm not Robert De Niro. I'm not Method. I didn't have to go... I must become the tree trimmer.
Your wife must think you're pretty bad at it if you can go out and presumably instantly fall off the
I didn't
ladder.
say I fell off instant. I know she's going off to do something
Well,
else.
they're not
She
notice-
says, I'm going to the shops then. So I know she's out. So I position
So
everything.
she says, in advance of going to this shop, she's going to the shop.
No. It's an expression that people say, I'm just popping to the shops. They don't go, I pop into the
No, it's
individual
not
shop.
an expression. It means going to the shop.
No, it doesn't.
Well, is it a euphemism in your house for what? Having a poo?
I pop into the shop.
Is it
You're going to get me on one letter. All right, I pop into the shop.
So she said she was popping to the shop now. Shop singular in advance of your trip to the shop.
She might have said shop. It's one letter. Give me a break. It's series 9. She may have said shop.
Can I ask
Or
a question?
shops. I'm just popping out. In fact, she said out. I'm popping out.
She's popping.
She was popping out.
So. OK, so she has left the house.
She's left the house.
So
She's
you
gone
know
to
you've
the
got.
shop. To buy a curly whirly or curly whirlies. I'm not sure. She's gone out. I know she's going to be gone enough time for me to get a ladder, lie it on its side, do the secateur, and lie there in a position that I would describe as
Can I ask
injured.
this question? Why didn't you want to go to IKEA?
I think I'd go to IKEA to get out of trimming a tree.
I didn't need to trim the tree.
So your wife comes back from the shop before going to the shop,
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
And we find that, weirdly, that the different shops sell different things.
OK.
So I have tried the old, when she goes, I'm just going to buy some potatoes, I've gone, why don't we wait till we're in IKEA? And she said, no, you can't buy. It turns out that different shops sell different things.
So your wife comes back from the potato shop to
No, it's not
find
called a potato shop.
you've finished trimming the tree and fallen off a ladder.
Yes.
How much of the tree did you get done?
Did you claim specific injuries that you'd done? When you
Yes.
said, oh, I've just generally hurt us, what? What had you done? What did you say it hurt?
I went, ah! My leg! She went, what's up with it? I said, I don't know, but I can't go to IKEA. And I claim to have injured my coccyx.
How long had she been gone?
It was probably 4 or 5 days this time. I'd say probably about 15 to 20 minutes.
Did she still go to IKEA?
Yeah, no, what did she do then? You're there in agony.
She came to help me.
She helped you up.
She helped me up. She sort of tried to get me stood up. I held the base of my back. Is that what the coccyx is? Yeah. I held the base of my back. And she said, you better come inside and sit yourself down. I said, but what about the trip to IKEA? I feel I've let you down. She said, no, that was years ago. I think the bit where I was pushing it, when I shouted, love, can you put that ladder away? I don't need to go rusty. I don't want it to go rusty. I might need that in a couple of weeks when we go to Boots.
So what do you think, David? Is this true?
What do you think?
I think it's a lie.
I just think you'd save that for something a bit more...
You think it's a waste?
Well, yeah, it's a waste of an opportunity to get out of something.
I love
Like
the fact that
a
your
family
dad's-
Christmas, you could get out of a whole Christmas.
So what are you going to say?
I think we think it's a lie.
You're saying it's a lie. Lee, Truth or lie?
It's a lie. I once gave a lift to the Guildford Four.
Well, Joe is sporting a very sort of open prison look tonight.
I once shared a tent in Kent with Susie Dent.
Please, team.
Where did you first get to know Susie?
On Countdown.
Which is true. She's on Countdown.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of TV shows around, aren't there, where people off the telly go and camp somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, it's not out of the question.
I know for a fact he's been very smiley and fily with Rachel Riley.
Well, was it just you and Susie?
In the tent, yeah.
Why did this come about?
Well, it was for a television... Well, for a pilot that never...
A TV show?
Yeah, that never made it.
What was the show called?
Tents in Kent.
Quick, is Canberra Sands in Kent?
No,
Yeah.
it's in Sussex.
Oh.
Well, they got it wrong then.
What was going to be the interesting, appealing television that was going to come out of it? What were you going to...
I was going to get paid £7,000.
Yeah, but crucially, that's not enough to make someone tune into a TV programme, amazingly.
No, I wasn't really worried about that, but...
What was the show called?
We had to do this task. I remember we had 24 hours in it.
No.
And then we had to complete a task in 24
What was the task?
It was like a political campaign that we had to run in 24 hours. I was running for mayor of Whitstable.
Did you have to represent a party?
Yes.
What was the party?
God, a lot of questions, aren't there?
That will happen.
And it's quite draining, isn't it?
But also, can I just point out that Whitstable is North Kent and Camber Sands is about 40 miles away in Sussex?
No, it's exactly 40 minutes in a car.
Going at 60 miles an hour.
The reason...
Hang on. I didn't stop.
We
Just stop.
I will not stop.
A recap before we carry on. So you're doing a political campaign in 24 hours to become mayor of Whitstable, but you stayed in Canberra, which is a completely different county, and for no reason so far that you've explained, you stay in a tent. What's that got to do with running a campaign for mayor?
I guess they couldn't find a yurt near Whitstable. And I don't blame them for that. So I don't know why I'm getting cross, sorry.
But what does it say about your campaigning skills that you ended up in a tent with Susie Dent?
Things went well.
Why did it never get made into TV?
Because they watched it back.
What do we think? Joe, what are you thinking?
Oh, I really want to believe it, but I just don't.
Oh, fair enough.
I could have believed you're in a tent with Susie in Kent, but I think the whole political campaign thing's just... It's a distraction.
OK.
All right. What's it going to be?
We're going to say it's a lie, are we?
It's a lie, it's a lie.
I think so,
We think it's a lie.
I think it's a lie. Joe, were you telling a lie or were you actually telling the truth?
It was a lie.
I believe you.
Yes, it's a lie. Joe didn't share a tent in Kent with Susie Dent.
On a recent train journey under cover of darkness in a tunnel, I secretly switched bananas with the stranger opposite because his looked better than mine.
There you go.
So, why was there no lighting in this train? Were you perhaps travelling in the 1870s?
Because it was daytime, and in daytime, they don't turn the lights on in a train.
What? So they were unaware of the tunnels on their route?
The tunnel was so brief and so quick, they didn't bother.
So it was a very brief, so it's basically like an extended bridge?
It was a shortcut.
So it was a very quick tunnel, but
Very
nevertheless
quick
you
tunnel.
had
I would
to
say
swap bananas.
No more than 5 seconds.
Can you demonstrate how you did it?
Yeah. I had my banana, and I was looking at it thinking, you know, when yours is just a bit... It's not... I like them really yellow. I don't like that bit where they're just starting to go a little bit black.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just a little bit. But it was close enough where I thought, given an opportunity, I reckon I could swap that banana, because he was reading his paper. But he's not concentrating on that banana. He hasn't fully engaged with the colour.
So he was reading his paper.
Yeah.
So he's holding a newspaper with two hands, and then in one of the hands he also had a banana.
No, it was on the table in front. Have you been on a train recently?
The point is, he wasn't holding the banana.
I'm not that bold.
No, fine.
I'm not that bold. That would have been awkward in the darkness. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Hey, what's going on? And then the lights come on, and I go... Mine was sitting on the table, his was sitting on the table.
OK, and you saw the two bananas. Yours has gone a bit manky. His is pristine.
Just fractional.
Just on the turn.
Just enough that I could get away with swapping it.
So it's plausible that he might think, oh, I thought this banana was fresher than this.
But it was like a film.
It's been 14 seconds later. Maybe it's just turned.
Did you have any reading materials, or were you just sat...
Don't mock me, you know I can't read. I was simply entertaining myself, as ever, with my Etch-a-Sketch. And I remember thinking... And look at it, he's not looked at that banana once. That's wasted on him, but that's irritating me. So, and I just thought, like that, put it back in its case, I'm very protective of it. And I thought, could I? And I was tempted to do it. I thought, no, I'll never get away with this. And then suddenly, it was pitch black.
I'm struggling to envision a tunnel that takes 5 seconds to get through, but is...
Well, do you know those really long tunnels?
Yeah.
Imagine one of them, but really short.
But that renders the whole carriage, it just a complete blackout.
Yeah. Well, you know, all I could say, this is one important factor you're missing. Bright sunshine, eye adjustment.
Because the effect of the bright sunlight directly on your eyes...
Did I not mention how bright it was?
Very, very bright.
Oh, it was bright. I can't help thinking he wasn't reading that paper, he was shielding him. In fact, the banana was so bright, I think the bananas actually grew on the train.
Yeah. It was a moment of complete blackness.
Black!
You're almost blinded in this blackness.
Blinded. And you know, it was so dark. You know when it's so dark, you think, God, it's dark, I could nick a banana.
But that's my whole point. How did you manage to put your hand on his banana to be so... I mean, you must have rummaged around.
No, I didn't rummage. Picture the scene. The Etch-a-Sketch is away. He's behind his paper. And I'm looking, and his banana's definitely reachable. And he's not looking, and it's there. And even before we go through the tunnel, I'm tempted. I'm going, could I? No. Could I? No, there's no one looking here. There's no one looking. And I'm so close to making that decision.
Yeah.
It goes black. Get it! Get it! Go! It's full. She goes, and I'll never forget his face. I will never forget his face. He literally, it made a bit of a noise, a bit of a kerfuffle, and the lights came, and he literally went... I knew I'd got away with it.
So what do you think, David?
What do you think?
Absolute nonsense.
All right,
what do you
just
think?
listen, give me another go. It was a pomegranate on a rickshaw.
I mean, it's a very, very rich, complete picture that Lee has painted.
Yes.
But I don't think he... I simply don't think he would
Grapefruit in a
steal
brothel?
someone else's banana.
I think he looks low on potassium as well.
Yes.
So, for you, it is a lie. Lee, were you... This is everybody's on tenterhooks to find out. Were you telling the truth? Or was it maybe a lie?
What do we think, Tim?
No. This is the one where you know the answer and you say.
Oh, wait, see? In that case, it's a lie.
Yes. Amazingly, it's a lie. Lee didn't secretly switch bananas with a stranger on the train. Please welcome this week's special guest, Paul. So, Ryland, what is Paul to you?
This is Paul. Paul's my plumber, and he came over to fix a leak, but ended up cutting my hair.
Right, so, Ryland's hairdressing handyman. Mary, how do you know Paul?
This is Paul, and every Christmas I sing carols to Paul's cows.
Mary's festive friend. And David, what is your relationship with Paul?
This is Paul, and while browsing in a bathroom showroom, he persuaded me to hop in a tub with him to test whether it would fit him and his wife.
Lee's team, where do you want to begin?
All right, we'll start with Ryland. When was this haircut?
This was Big Brother Power Trip 2014.
What did you say before that?
I've measured years by Big Brothers.
Big brother.
How many brothers have you got?
No, it's I work on Big Brother, so I do it by the theme, and the reason Paul came round, I measure it by Big Brother. It's 2014.
Was he giving you a haircut for Big Brother?
No, but he ended up giving me a haircut for Big Brother. So my brother-in-law knows Paul, because my brother-in-law's an electrician, and he said, Paul, do the plumbing, because my brother-in-law did the electric.
Is everyone paying tax? Just checking, because I know how these things can be.
You know what it's like.
Paul's giving me a right look.
Where was the leak? It was basically my shower was dripping, and I'd called my hairdresser Hayley, and because he comes to my house to cut my hair and colour my hair, because this isn't real, guys. Shock.
Yeah.
And I said, babe, can you come and do my hair? It's Big Brother starts tomorrow. It's the launch. I need my cut and colour done. And she said, babe, I'm in Tenerife. And I was like, are you joking? It's fine. I used to do hair when I was 16. I said, I'll just do my own colour because I've got everything indoors anyway. So I put my colour on, and then when I went to wash my hands, I realised that there weren't no water coming out of the tap. So I rang Paul and said, Paul, come over to fix my taps, and yeah.
And then what happened?
Well, then basically Paul came over and he fixed everything.
Yeah.
And I said, Paul, you wouldn't do me a favour, would you? I've obviously got everything at home. All I needed was like my sides and my back just shaved, and I've obviously got the razor. It's like number 4 setting or whatever.
Why have you got all the equipment at home?
Because I studied hair when I was 16.
Can I
so I've
say
got
one
everything at home.
rookie error?
With?
You. What you've done is you talk about washing your hands. Everyone, even if they're doing
Gloves.
it, wears gloves.
Yeah,
So why have you got it on your hands?
Because I was colouring my own hair, so I
Yeah,
had to
so
do the back.
the gloves come in the packet.
Yeah, but it doesn't go all the way out there, darling.
Oh, so it was this
David,
part
when
of
you
your
do
arm.
yours, do you wear gloves or do you mind the dye going on?
I just get a team of people round. I think, you can't afford to take risks with your look.
Yeah.
So this was one day before you were due to film Big Brother?
It was on the Thursday and we launched on the Friday.
You let a plumber with a razor blade shave the back of your head before you did national television.
Right, it was very, very simple. It was
Here's a detail then. So, he fixed the water, and then you had a shower to get all of the stuff out of your hair. And what did Paul do while you were in the shower?
I'd made Paul a coffee, and this was before, obviously, that I took my colour off, and I said, Paul, do you mind just sticking around 15 minutes just while I wash this colour off? I'll dry my hair and we just shave it.
This sounds a little bit like the start of Confessions of a Plumber. Oh, Paul, I just need to pop into the shower. Paul came in and there was some 70s jazz music.
And what sort of job did he do? Was you pleased with it?
Yeah, very pleased. Everyone said my hair looked nice.
How long did it
we
take?
did a good job. Like 5 minutes, not even
Well,
that.
it's about 25 minutes if he's a plumber with fag breaks and tea breaks. He didn't react, he's not a plumber.
I think he might have died.
OK, so, shall we move on to Mary?
Mary, yes.
Mary.
Just remind us,
Singing to
Mary,
cows.
what is it that you claim here with Paul?
I sing to Paul's cows at Christmas.
Oh, yes.
Right, what do you sing to them?
Away in a manger.
You sing Away in a Manger to them,
Yeah,
do you?
and what's that one?
Well, you should know, you do it every year.
The cattle are lowing, the babe. That one, the baby.
That is
away.
Away in a Manger.
Yeah.
That's away.
And,
that one, I sing that one.
I suppose the big question has to be why.
Well, because apparently they really like it. I'm not a particularly good singer. I'm not a particularly good singer, but they like being sung to, and it's a kind of...
Well, why do they like being sung to?
They find it very moving.
Yeah, and
Is there a reason that he chooses you as opposed to somebody who admits they can sing well?
Well, no, it's not just me.
Oh.
I'm part of the community who, live near Paul, and, we all get together to sing.
What's the actual purpose of this?
Lots of things. You give thanks, it's Christmas, and probably, that the cows are going to be in for the chop.
Well, I was about to say, if you really want to thank the cow in a way that would mean something to the creature, you've got to let him go.
Well,
That doesn't make any sense at all. What are you thanking them for, then?
Yeah.
The thing you're thanking them for, you then don't get. The key thing is what you're thanking them for is their forthcoming deliciousness. You've got to do it in advance, because afterwards they can't hear you.
He's a really caring farmer, I have to say this. He's, a little bit of a hippie. And I'm a bit of a hippie, and we connect, and we sort of think, this is a really lovely thing to do.
Not so much of a hippie that you don't mind killing the cows.
I'm a Puppies can kill cows.
You probably don't kill the cows yourself.
I
You
don't
outsource them. That's the system.
I don't kill them.
Don't kill the cows yourself.
I sing to them.
That's very messy and upsetting. Send them to an abattoir. A lovely abattoir. A pampering abattoir. It's like a spa, but with knives.
Right, what about David?
So, David, remind us again.
While browsing in a bathroom showroom, Paul persuaded me to try out a bathtub with him to see if it would fit him and his wife.
Right. So how did he approach you? What was the conversation?
Well, he approached me and said that he recognised me from the television.
Right.
On which I have appeared.
Oh. You had your I'm David Mitchell T-shirt on again, did you?
What were you shopping for that day?
A small basin or sink.
A small one?
A small one.
Don't want to treat yourself?
Like this.
I
should clarify. It was what I was looking for was to human scale.
David, what was going through your mind when a complete stranger walks up to you and says, I know you from the telly, will you get into the bathtub with me?
Well, it didn't happen like that.
All right, then. It didn't happen like that, but tell us another version how it didn't happen.
Well, he initially said, I like your work on television.
Really?
It's a lie.
I'm going to say it. He asked for a selfie. We took a selfie, so it was very nice. I was feeling my...
It was very nice.
My fragile... Yeah, it was nice. Look, it's not an accident we're in this business. On some level, we have an emptiness inside that we need to fill with the approval of strangers. And a little bit of the approval of a stranger was making me feel a bit better about myself. Thank you very much.
And David...
Albeit briefly, and then it turned out he had an ulterior motive.
David, I need you to act this up because we're all talking about this like it's sensible. But it's too intimate, unless...
We were clothed.
I know. I want to know which way round. Did you sit opposite each other with your legs...
No, we both sat at the same end.
So you were spooning you?
No, of course we sat at opposite ends.
Did you choose the tap end or the non-tap end?
The tap was in the middle.
So this is the thing, for an actual rational human being to think, I wonder if I'll fit in this massive bath with my wife, I'll ask this minor celebrity that I don't know. I meant to start...
Look, Elton John was in the shop and he'd said no.
Will you do it with Rylan for me?
OK, well...
So what am I assuming?
Well, we've got to imagine we're getting in a... You're a very tall man.
I'm quite tall.
Yeah. God almighty, I can see why you can't get phones and a wallet in those.
As a working hypothesis, let's say this rectangle is broadly the bath.
Yeah.
So...
Is there any blood going to your feet?
You're in the bath showroom.
So you sit at that end, the tap's here.
Is this what you did? You took control, David?
No, I didn't take control. And then, as you can see, our legs sort of tessellated. No, in between.
You know what this is making me think, David? I'm picturing... You just look at each other now, and I'm picturing a voiceover saying, there are many ways to keep a relationship fresh and alive. Why not try sharing a bath together? I think, well done. Right, now then, we need an answer. So, Lee's team, is Paul Ryland's hairdressing handyman, Mary's festive friend, or David's bath buddy?
What do you think?
The only story that made any kind of sense whatsoever was Ryland's.
Why?
Ryland's?
Yeah, Ryland's.
Oh.
I can believe that a man whose obsession is being legendarily well-groomed and stylish would panic and get his plumber to do his hair. I could just about believe that.
I've been looking at Paul while everyone's been talking, and he really did light up during David's story. Like, he was really enjoying it, like he was a fan of David.
Or it might be the first time he's heard it.
It's true as well.
What about the farming? What do you think about Mary?
That's the one I think is true.
The farmer?
I think that some local people would go and sing for animals at a local farm. This is a thing to do.
I do believe that you can sing to a cow. I believe slightly more that somebody would have their hair cut by a plumber. However, not him. I mean, who did your teeth? The Tyler? Go on, then. We'll say Mary.
You're going to say it's Mary? OK. Paul, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Paul, and every Christmas Eve...
Yes, Paul is Mary's festive friend. Thank you very much, Paul. So please welcome this week's special guest, Zoe. So, Thomas, who is Zoe to you?
This is Zoe, and while handing her a prize at the UK Weather Awards, I was struck on the head by a Perspex lightning bolt.
Right, Thomas's weather woman. Scarlett, how do you know Zoe?
This is my old flatmate Zoe. We once discovered we'd been burgled when we arrived home dressed as burglars.
Scarlett's burgled burglar. And Lee, what's your relationship with Zoe?
This is Zoe. Together, we formed a search party and scoured a campsite by torchlight for a missing cuddly frog.
David's team, where will you begin?
Thomas, this was at what awards?
The UK Weather Awards.
And what are the UK Weather Awards given for? Best rainstorm?
Could be the best national weather presenter, regional weather presenter.
Any more? And what was Zoe winning for?
She's a regional weather presenter from Northern Ireland.
And she won Best Regional Weather Presenter?
Yes.
And were you hosting the awards, or
No.
you were just there to give that award out?
I was just handing the prize to her.
And what happened?
At one point, there was just a noise and something hit my head. I had no idea what it was, and it fell from above. It was a Perspex thunderbolt. It was part of the decorations, the symbols, hanging above the
part
stage.
of the set?
Yes. When it hit my head, I didn't obviously know it was a thunderbolt
You
at the time
literally-
until I saw it.
You didn't know what had hit you?
Exactly.
And then you saw what had hit you?
I was really surprised. Well, wouldn't you be?
Yes, I would be, yeah. I'd be surprised if it was true.
Who next, David?
Lee, what's the story here?
Zoe and I...
Yeah.
We had to do a late-night cuddly frog search by torchlight.
Yeah. OK, so who did the cuddly frog belong to?
The cuddly frog belongs to Zoe's very young child.
How did you know Zoe?
Zoe was about 4 or 5 tents down from us. I didn't know Zoe at all.
Paint the picture for us, Lee. You're in the tent. Have you zipped up?
Oh, yeah, we're totally flat down.
Right. You and Mrs. Mack are cuddled together.
We are, you know, we're on our inflatable mattress.
Right. What?
As you know, Mrs. Mack is also inflatable, and it was very much an inflatable. The kids, they're not real either.
And then a rat-a-tat-tat.
You don't do it on a tent, it wouldn't work. A flap, a flap, flap.
And what happened?
I heard a sort of distressed
Signal.
whimper, as any way I could say. It's
A whimper. Now, who is this? This is Zoe, or is this still your wife?
This is not my wife. This is Zoe, who I don't know at this point is called Zoe.
No.
Zoe is outside the tent, sounding a bit distressed, and then I heard maybe 3 or 4 tents down the crying of a small child.
Oh.
Oh, where's my frog? He said, where's my frog? And I said, darling, we'll finish this in a moment. I must go out and see what's going on. So she put the Scrabble set away. So I stepped out of the tent and I said, are you OK? And she was a bit teary. She went, not really. My child's
I thought
taught...
she had a Northern Ireland accent. Oh, no,
No, that's me.
They can't all be true. Did you know that means that you're now not telling the truth? Yeah. Think about the logic of that.
My advice to you, Scarlett, is to pretend that your former flatmate is also a Northern Irish weather presenter.
So, I go outside the tent and I see that Zoe is a bit distressed. I said, madam, can I be of any assistance to you?
What did you have on your feet?
What did I have on my feet? I had skis. What do you mean?
Well, hear me out. You've sprung into action.
Yes.
In the tent.
All right, I had springs on my feet.
And I'm wondering, do you do with your shoes and take a while? You sling on a pair of Crocs?
I had my slippers on, my lambskin slippers. I went outside with my little slippers on, and I said, are you OK? And she went, no, my child's lost his toy and he's getting very distressed and he can't sleep without it. And I said, well, hey, you shouldn't be doing this on your own. I said, love, get out of the tent and have this one. But she was snoring at this point, so I got the torch and we went searching for the frog.
Where did you find the frog?
Well, this is the interesting part of the story, you
I
said,
hope so.
hopefully. It was actually there's a small, like, shop on camp, and it was in the fridge of the shop, and the shop was dark, but the fridge was lit up because the fridge stays on, and it was sitting in the fridge. The child has put the toy, apparently, in the fridge to play a game, forgotten about it, left it, and it's just stayed there.
You could see it behind the glass-fronted
fridge. And the shop was locked, because it was night time, so we had to leave it. We couldn't... I'm going to break in through the skylight. I thought, I can't do that, can I? I can't break in for a soft toy with a woman I've never met. With a couple of torches, and we both had balaclavas on. It would have looked like...
Nasty, are you taking notes?
No, I think you're doing a drawing, aren't you?
I'm not offensive. You're just boring the life out of me. I find myself, though. I'm not sure attention to
Now, Scarlett.
Yes?
Remind us how you know Zoe.
So, Zoe is my...
How you know Northern Ireland weatherwoman Zoe.
So, me and Zoe went to uni together, and we lived together, and we had been on a night out, got back and discovered that we had been burgled whilst dressed as burglars.
Right, OK.
Why were you dressed as burglars?
So, when you do initiations, because we were in the hockey society together, we had to dress as burglars, because we were in the first year, and then the second and third years dressed as cops. So we went out and we had swag bags, masks, stripy jumper, and then came back and discovered we'd been burgled. So obviously when the police rocked up, they thought we were joking. And we were in hysterics. I was just stood there with my swag bag like, we've been burgled.
Did the police think you'd burgled it yourselves?
I just think they thought it was like a uni prank.
Right.
Are you sure they were police? Because you said it was a cops and robbers party.
They legit workers, we'd rang them, yeah.
Right, OK.
And what was funny is my friend Sarah's mum came to pick me and Sarah up, and when she went in my bedroom, she started crying. She was like, oh, my God, look what they've done. And I was like, no, Wendy, this was just my room. My room was just a mess. They just took my laptop off my bed. It's fine.
Why would they smear that on the walls?
What? Is it? Nasty's saying you don't look the same age.
Yeah, man, that's some Back to the Future Marty McFly business. If you was in the same uni, you must be a first grade, and she was at least a year above you. No offence, Zoe.
How old do you think I am?
All right, you look, realistically,
This is no time for realism.
Early 20s, late 20s?
No, I'm not. I'm not early 20s.
Late 20s?
I'm 28 this year.
So late 20s, then?
Yeah.
Yeah? You go,
Mid to high 20s.
Yeah? Mid to high 20s, yeah? Boom.
Oh, Nasty, please
Zoe,
be nice.
You look like me, baby girl. You could be in your 30s.
Can I ask you a question, Nasty? Have you ever met a woman?
But you gotta be honest. We're trying to save people's lives right now. Feelings of you want the truth. You can't handle the truth. It's true, though, isn't it? It's like me saying, raw, I was in school with my mum.
Yeah, but Zoe's younger than me. Zoe is legit younger than me.
No, because she was finding her kid's frog.
No, she
Let's just say, boom, move on. Prue, what do you think?
I believe half of Lee's story. Is that all right?
Well, that's a first.
Nasty?
Yeah, I'm Tabernacle Man.
What? Well...
Tabernacle.
He definitely means you, Thomas.
What's the name of our Prime Minister again?
Theresa May.
Yeah, see,
I mean, although at time of broadcast, it won't be.
Well, she had malfunctions on her set and things dropped down on
That's
the
a very good point.
Yes,
Things
absolutely.
happen exactly
on the weather all
what
the
he's
time.
talking about.
Yeah.
That's true, actually, yeah. This is like one of those buddy cop movies, isn't it? Where the two different cops have been paired together. I really don't think this is going to work, but we'll give it a go. But you get... But
That's
you
a very
solve
good
the
impression
crime.
of Big Nasty. Well, my team doesn't think it's Scarlett, so we're ruling out Scarlett, and then it has to be one of Lee or Thomas. Oh.
Knackerman.
All right.
You're going
We'll
with
go
Thomas.
with Thomas.
No. It's not you. Here we go. Zoe, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Zoe, and Scarlett and I discovered we've been burgled whilst Christmas burglars.
Yes. Zoe is Scarlett's burgled burglar. Thank you very much, Zoe. Please welcome this week's special guest, Justin. So, Aston, what is Justin to you?
This is Justin, and once I did a backflip in a supermarket and landed in his trolley.
Good luck with that one, Aston.
Olivia, how do you know Justin?
This is Justin. He is my neighbour, and he has had a parcel in my hall for the last 7 months. And he's here tonight because I want him to take it home.
And finally, David, what is your relationship with Justin?
This is Justin. He tried to recruit me to his underground ping-pong club after being wowed by my skills with the bat.
So, please, team, where to begin?
OK, so we know you can do the backflip, Aston. I've seen that in action, so that's true. However, there's a little bit of the story I'm doubting. OK. You flipped and you landed in his shopping trolley.
Yeah.
So the big question is, was that deliberate or was it an accident when you were shopping?
An utter accident.
Oh, come on!
I promise you.
Where was this?
In, where was we, Asda?
And whereabouts in the country was this?
Peterborough.
In Peterborough?
My hometown, yeah. So I was with
You're
my
from
mum. It was
Peterborough?
literally like not long after myself and the boys did the X Factor, and it was just that kind of crazy time when it's a bit like, OK, everyone's...
That like, kind of crazy time where you think, I'll carry on shopping in Asda in Peterborough.
Why would you be doing backflips just casually in a supermarket? I mean, that's the bizarre bit, isn't it?
Basically, some guy and his daughter just, oh, would you do it? Would you do it? Oh, she's a big fan. And I was just like, I mean, I'm in a supermarket.
Were you on your own?
Oh, no, I was with my mum.
To my knowledge, there are 2 parts of a backflip. The second part is doing the backflip. The first part is having a quick look behind you to check there isn't a trolley or something like that there.
Exactly. So that's not part of the backflip, is it? You can't say there's 2 parts of a backflip. The second part is doing the backflip. You could say that about anything. There's 2 parts of writing a symphony. The second part is writing a symphony. The first part is the day before you write a symphony.
It's hard to believe that an experienced backflipper wouldn't at some point have learnt to just have a quick...
It's actually on YouTube.
It's on YouTube?
You can check it.
I can check it? Yeah. Well, then stay there. This is one of the easiest rounds we've ever had. I'm just checking it now, Aston.
We'll use that for proof later. It would slightly be not in the spirit of the game, Lee, to...
And also, it's not going to work on my hand, is it? That's not gonna... You see? Better actor than you thought, Rob.
When you do a backflip, you know, you don't normally fly in the air afterwards and land higher up. You just kind of land on the same plane.
If you were deliberately trying to backflip into a trolley, I would say that could be done.
But not by accident, because that could... Oh, my goodness, it could have...
But then again, he's only a little fella, isn't he? He's only little. I bet he flipped and he landed right in that little baby seat. And then off he went and started his life with a new family. Are you claiming that you landed on your feet?
Yeah.
You landed on your feet in the trolley?
And you stayed stood up?
Of course.
Was this man pushing it at the time?
No, it was there.
Did he think
just
you were a
behind
free
me.
gift with the cornflakes? Did you land facing him or facing away?
I'll tell you what, I'll show you.
No, don't do it,
I'm going to do it, just to prove you, right? Listen.
Aston, darling, don't do anything dangerous. Aston, be careful.
Let's just know, because I'm going to show you, and just
I
how
wish I
high as
brought it
well.
up, I'm so sorry.
It's fine. You be
Please
here.
don't do it. No! Oh!
So I'll be here.
Oh, so you did. Right. I'm sorry, I take back everything I've said. However, you're still lying.
Well, what about Olivia?
OK.
Oh, I've forgotten what she said.
Olivia's got a package in her hallway that she's had for 7 months that he should have collected from her, and I'm quite annoyed by that already. When you say neighbour, you mean actual neighbour or
Not
communal...
my immediate neighbour on either side, but he's 3 down the road.
OK, and so he wasn't in and the package came to you with a little card or whatever posted to him to say what it was. Have you still got it?
Yeah. Oh, well, it's here in my dressing room.
Why has it been 7 months?
I don't know. I know he's a wildlife photographer, so he probably travels a lot. And when I've taken it to him, he hasn't been there, so I've left a note. It's still here. And then he's missed me and left a note going, I came, but it wasn't there.
And in the whole 7 months, has he ever left a note to say, sorry, tried to catch...
Oh, yes, 3.
What did the note say?
Sorry.
That was it?
Sorry about the package. I did try, but you weren't in.
The question is this. What is in that package?
I haven't opened it, but it's an irritating shape because you can't get the pushchair through the door hole. You have to fold down the pushchair to get past it.
What?
So it's long and thin, and I think it might be, I don't know, a blind or a, curtain rail.
What's the girth? Is it like that sort of girth?
There's a lot of packaging around it.
So he can't get through his letterbox. You haven't
Oh, no. So you have to... That's the whole point. Well, that's been so irritating. We have to ring the doorbell. He's not there.
OK.
And she said it's really irritating. She sort of looked at him apologetically as if to say, I didn't mean to call you here on telly to say you're an irritating neighbour.
But she is a professional actress.
I know.
So, I mean, she could just be lying.
That's very good, though.
So you've brought it in tonight? You've brought it in?
That's... I thought this would be an extreme...
Is this the only reason you've come on the show? Just to give back a parcel?
What about David and the table tennis?
Oh, we're actually going through with all that, are we?
David, remind us of your supposition.
He tried to recruit me for his underground ping-pong club because he was impressed by my skills with the bat.
Can I just check, when you say underground, do you mean underground literally, it's underground, or do you mean it's a bit devious?
I don't think there was any illegality, but it was, to a certain extent, subterranean. It was in a sort of basement.
In his basement?
No, in the basement of an advertising agency.
Are you good at table tennis?
I'm a bit good at table tennis. Not very good, but
I
I'm
want to get
better than you'd expect me to be.
And how did this man see you play table tennis?
Well, I played it there at the basement.
How do you know him?
He's a friend. I know him in my life. He works in the media.
To be absolutely clear what you're saying, apart from me and Rob, you have another friend.
You said, David, in your statement, he was wowed by your table tennis.
Yeah.
I've seen you play table tennis, but I don't picture you as being particularly adept at any sport. You don't mind me saying that?
Don't I? OK. Good to know, because I was wondering what I was experiencing. But
Talk me through your serve.
Well, I sort of go...
That's a bog standard. You don't do...
No, because I like to keep my tongue in my mouth.
Right, ready?
OK.
I played it to your forehand, you idiot.
Well, I couldn't see the ball's invisible.
Because you're not an actor of sufficient imagination, are you?
If you were a better actor, Rob, you'd know which side that you served. Do you want me to serve to you, David?
What, don't stop playing with him? No.
It's all right, we can get it over.
No. Stop it. Give me a bat. So there you were, playing table tennis in this underground car park, and what you did wowed him enough to say, please join our team.
No, well, firstly, he'd invited me to see the club. Yeah. So I hadn't just turned up and he saw me across a crowded underground ping pong
I'm not
pit.
suggesting romance was involved.
Yeah. Seeing people across a crowded area doesn't mean there's romance involved.
Typically, the expression, I saw him or her cross a crowded room, infers romance.
It implies.
Well, we need an answer. So, Lee's team, is Justin Aston's shocked shopper, Olivia's neglectful neighbour, or is he David's ping-pong pal?
I think anyone that's prepared to stand there that long while all this is going on is a wildlife photographer.
Or one of the others, and he's been told to stand there for that long.
If what you're saying there is true, Michaela, then we've had a wildlife photographer on every single episode.
Do you know what he doesn't look like? A man who shops at Asda. He has got Waitrose written all over his face, hasn't he?
I think Olivia's story is very believable.
The apologetic look when she described him as an irritant is either the greatest piece of acting of my generation or a typically British response of, I've got my neighbour on telly and told the whole country how annoying he is.
I'm torn, but I'll go with Olivia then.
You think it's Olivia? Right. Justin, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Justin, and I tried to recruit David for my underground ping-pong club.
Yes, Justin is David's ping-pong pal. Thank you very much, Justin.
I once set a sauna on fire.
What? How?
I was in Brazil.
Of course.
And I was in the sauna and I decided to pour vodka
Oh, my God.
on the rocks of the sauna.
Because you thought that's what vodka on the rocks was?
Yeah. No, I tell you how it started was my friend told me I was in Cornwall, of all places, and my friend said...
Can I jump in here and
Yeah.
say, did your parents know you were drinking?
I wasn't a minor. I was 18 and a half.
Isn't 18 and a half 18 once you get to be an adult?
Well, no.
That's so true. Who says 18 and a half?
You're in Cornwall. I was in Cornwall, and my friend said to me, if you go and lie in the bath and pour vodka in it, like a shot of vodka...
In the bath?
In the bath, it gets you drunk. I didn't go and do it, but then...
A shot of vodka in a bath?
Because of the fumes, it gets you drunk. So I was in Brazil travelling, and my friend had a sauna in their apartment. So I was left alone, and so
I've heard about these Brazilian slums.
So you're left alone in this flat
I was left
with
alone.
a bottle of vodka, and you thought, if only there was some way I could use this bottle of vodka to make me become drunk.
Where were you in Brazil?
I was in Rio.
Ah, that is in Brazil. Yep, tick.
Solid answer.
Continue.
In Rio. I was in a foreign country, I was young, I was experimenting, so I thought, why not experiment with...
Why did you look at me when you said you were experimenting?
I decided to take the bottle of vodka into my sauna and pour it onto the rocks. As I poured it onto the rocks, it went into flames and it burnt the sauna.
So you poured it onto the rocks, and immediately what happened?
So I poured it onto the rocks and started to flames.
Just one shot of it, or the whole bottle?
The half a bottle. So
half a bottle of vodka?
Wow. Yeah, no,
At 18 and a half, you change the rules. So, and so the fire engines turned up and we...
No, hang on. We've missed a beat here. You're in the sauna.
Yeah.
You've poured half a bottle of vodka onto the rock things. Flames are appearing.
Yes.
You're sitting there. What are you wearing?
Well, I was going to go...
They've told me to make the show sexier.
I was going to go in naked because I thought that's what you do, but I actually put on my swimming trunks. So I wore swimming trunks in there. But
How low down your leg did they go?
Mine are slight. They're
Give me
not
some
too
inches
long.
above the knee.
I would say about 7 inches.
Above the knee?
Above the knee.
If you go 7 inches above my knee, you get to my waist.
Nice.
So you're sitting in there, in your trunks on the slats, and the flames have started. What do you do?
I thought the best option was to pick them up and throw them...
The rocks?
Yeah, because I thought that... Yeah.
They must be boiling
Oh,
up.
well, that's what I found out, obviously.
You found out? You must have suspected they were hot, because you knew they were producing the heat, surely.
But you were in that panic.
No, not even in the panic, do I go,
bear in mind, he was 18 and a half.
Yeah. So I try and pick up the rocks to throw them out the door and realise they were...
Out of the door?
Yeah, well, because there's a... What else is there?
Because you really wanted at this point to spread the fire through the rest of the apartment.
What's on the other side of the door? The hall, the living room? What?
A lovely balcony.
I know you can...
So you want to throw them on the passers-by outside?
Nothing says Rio like a falling, flaming vodka rock.
My thought process was to pick up the rocks, throw them out the door, and it would have been fine. However, they picked up the rocks, they were too hot, so they fell on the ground, and the fire went. And I
How
thought...
can you not know that the rocks are... Are you so posh?
I told
Are you so posh you don't understand the concept of coal?
Have you ever cooked something and you've gone, oh, this one, open up the oven and gone to take it out with your hands?
No.
OK.
So, David, what is your team thinking about this?
Claudia?
I think it's true. Apartment, balcony, he's waiting for everyone to go, trunks on, vodka there. Finally, everything comes into place.
Here we go.
Yeah. Finally, a chance to put my trunks on. Everyone's out.
What do you think?
I'm on your side. Doesn't matter.
It's interesting to know.
So what are you going to say, then?
I think we'll say true.
OK. Jamie, were you telling the truth, or was it a lie?
It was true.
Yes, it's true. Jamie did set a sauna on fire. Jade, you're next.
Whenever someone sits down next to me in public, I always say boing out loud just as their bottom hits the seat and then see what happens next.
David's team.
So as they sit down, does it have to be right next to you, or...?
They have to be able to hear me say it.
Do you say it quietly? Do you say it loud?
I don't think I've ever done anything quietly in my life. Do you want to demonstrate?
Yeah, let's have a go.
I'll demonstrate.
Lee, can you stand?
Just about. What's this for acting?
Boy,
And is it...
Now, that was unusual. Yeah. Wow. Do you vary the boings according to who's sitting down?
Yes.
What would you do? What would you do for David? Would
Absolutely.
you stand up?
David.
Let's let David sit and just go with the flow here, Jade.
Right, OK.
OK.
Boing.
What's this purter?
I'm trying to work out which is best.
I know which is best. I think it's very clear which is best.
Oh, yeah. Jade, would you indulge me?
OK.
Yeah.
Well, stand up, then.
I am standing up.
Boing.
Is that a Welsh boy?
Yeah. It's just quite Welsh, but also quite seductive.
Ellie, what do you think?
I can see it, you doing it. Do you have to be on it? Do you have to be focused? So when someone sits down, they go, boing.
I don't think about it that hard. It's just... it's just if someone...
You can spot the Olympian, can't you? You have to be on it. You have to be focused. I don't really think about it, really. OK, David, it's time to be a captain, to be a leader.
OK, what do you think?
Real leadership quality, that.
I'd love it to be true, but I think it might be false.
I think, having got to know you, I think this is absolutely credible. I think it's very much the truth.
David?
Well, I was going to say it's probably not the truth, because what she said is that every time someone sits down next to her, she goes boing. And I don't think anyone would do that. OK, we're going to say it's not true, it's a lie.
You're going to say it's a lie. OK, Jade, was it true or was it a lie?
It's a lie.
So please welcome this week's special guest, Shabs. So, Sean, what is Shabs to you?
This is Shabs. I keep my chicken drumsticks in his nuclear bunker.
Right. So, Sean's bunker buddy. Johnny, how do you know Shabs?
This is Shabs, and he used to regularly park cars on my foot to stop me going anywhere.
Johnny's parking prankster. And finally, David, what is your relationship with Shabs?
This is Shabs, and he's taught his parrot to say, "Nice shoes, Dave," whenever I enter his cobblers.
Lee's team, where will you begin?
Oh, should we start with Sean? Let's start with Sean, I think, yeah? You leave your chicken drumsticks in his nuclear shelter. Is that what you're claiming?
Yes.
OK, enough questions. Johnny. Where is this nuclear shelter?
In a field out the back of his garden.
Which part of the country?
Mid-Kent.
I don't think anyone's ever referred to whatever area you're talking about as Mid-Kent. I mean, people say, where are you from? Oh, I'm mid-British. You're not Mid-Kent.
Well, you say I'm from the Midlands. That's the middle of Britain, isn't it? But anyway... Sean, has he got a freezer in his nuclear bunker?
A very large chest freezer.
How many chicken drumsticks have you got in it?
Oh, there's probably in there, I'd say it's a pack of 10... Because it's not just drumsticks, you see.
Oh, you're not running a catering firm on the side?
No, I have meat mass-delivered, and sometimes I need an overflow. Well, from a regular delivery from a butcher's.
Right. Why are you buying so much meat?
Because what's happening particularly this year, I've been working away a lot, so I haven't been going through the amount of meat I normally go through. So at the moment, it's just a bit of an overflow.
Well, why didn't you stop the order?
How do you know Shabs?
Sure. I know Shabs from my local pub cricket team.
What fielding position?
Well, yeah, slip and number 4 batsman.
Right. And what does he do?
All-rounder. Excellent.
No, all right, sorry. He does everything. He bats, he bowls, he freezes your meat.
Sean, I've never been into a nuclear bunker. What's it like?
OK, so basically, when you approach it, you'll see something that might look like a sort of white, woodeny, one of those slatted beehives, the square beehives.
A slatted beehive,
yeah,
yes.
But what that is, that's I think, is the air conditioning, purifying system. And then there's almost like a hatch, like a submarine hatch.
Yes.
So you climb down a ladder, a metal ladder.
Sorry, can I just check? Have you been watching the Teletubbies recently?
And then you get down the bottom of the ladder. Is there a living area, a bedroom?
Yes, there's a living area. He has got a television and a cracking stack.
Oh, yeah, because after the nuclear war, you're going to get a lot of telly, aren't you? I bet EastEnders survives.
The cockroach of TV shows.
You said it.
I can't go back. But he's got a cracking selection of videos.
Oh, I bet he has.
Video player.
I know. The truth comes out. Yeah. I'm just going to see Shabs to get some chicken drumsticks, love. Shan't be long.
Right, Lee, who would you like to quiz next?
OK, Johnny, so just remind us again what this fella did to you.
He used to park cars on my foot so I couldn't move.
You couldn't move?
On your prosthetic foot?
Obviously on the prosthetic one.
He's a friend of yours that did this, or is he...?
I used to work in a garage, and Shabs worked in the garage.
Where was this, Mid-Kent?
In St Ives.
St Ives?
St Ives?
Not Cornwall St Ives, Cambridgeshire St Ives.
I mean, how did he do it? Because surely you sort of saw the car coming and you moved away.
He'd try and stop on the foot, but sometimes he'd miss. But if he got it, he'd pull the handbrake and get out of the car and walk off.
I want to know, how did it start the first time?
I was working there and Shabs joined, and one of the other guys told me it'd be quite funny because he didn't know that I had a prosthetic leg, to get my foot trapped under a wheel.
To try and spook him?
Yes, but it didn't.
It awoke a sort of bloodlust in him, didn't it?
So the start of this story was that
it was all
I thought that he was perhaps bullying you a bit, and it turns out it's the other way round completely.
The person you tried to bully at work turned out to be a sociopath.
Right, what about David?
Why does he keep a parrot in the cobblers?
As a pet.
As a
Does
pet?
Yeah, he's not a colleague.
Did you go to the cobblers a lot then? Because for him to go through all the effort of teaching a parrot
Yeah.
to say nice shoes, Dave, I mean, I've probably been to a cobbler's like twice in the last 5 years. So do your shoes kind of wear out really quickly, or...?
Well, I suppose I probably do go to the cobblers quite a lot.
OK, then that's fine.
And what sort of voice does the parrot have? Could you give us a taste of the parrot?
I'm so sorry?
A flavour.
You want me to do an impression?
Not so much an impression, more an evocation.
I suppose it would be sort of... I don't know what it's going to sound like until it comes out, so I'll be...
I'm pretty sure it's going to be quite
I'm just
bad.
going to say, yeah, I'm listening to it at the same time as you, so...
Welcome to my world.
Nice shoes, Dave.
That was horrible. That was the most horrible thing you've ever done.
Nothing like a parrot.
You've done some horrible things, but that was horrible.
Well, look, it's a parrot. You know,
It doesn't sound like a parrot. Are you sure it's not just a rather exotic man that works with Shabs?
Obviously, what you've got to understand is what you heard there wasn't the parrot. That was me.
But it was you
So if you're saying, that parrot sounds like a man pretending to be a parrot, then I'm not
But
sure
it
that's
didn't even
conclusive.
sound like that, did it? Any parrot worth his salt would say, nice shoes, Dave.
Listen, Rob. You're in the chair. If you want to do a parrot impression at any point, you can just do it. We don't have to go around this ridiculous process.
What's the name of Shabs's parrot?
Graham.
It's sounding more and more like it is a man. Just a man stood in the corner of the shop. This parrot, is he 6 foot?
No.
Does he smoke a cigarette and go, all right, Dave, nice shoes?
All right, we need an answer. So, Lee's team, is Shabs Sean's bunker buddy, Johnny's parking prankster, or David's parrot pal?
I thought Sean told a great story. I love the fact that he's putting his drumsticks in his bunker.
Do you think that's perfectly acceptable?
That sounds like a euphemism, doesn't it?
You believe her?
Here's a question. Does Shabs look like the type of person who would have a nuclear bunker?
Definitely.
I think that Shabs looks like he could work in a garage.
What about David?
The bit I doubt is the fact that you're going to the cobblers so regularly, because that would be the actions of a man who cares what he looks like.
What shoes have you got on tonight?
Do you want me to show you my
Yes,
shoes?
please.
Yes, please.
Should we have a look and see if they're worn?
Oh, nice shoes, Dave.
And they
It's easily done, isn't it?
And, yeah, these have never been to the cobblers.
You seem to be spending a lot of effort on the shoes and less effort to iron your trousers. Let be a lesson to you, young man.
I didn't realise my offer to show you my shoes was going to lead to mockery.
You must have
But David, you must have suspected it.
Yes.
So you're saying Johnny? Emma?
Yes.
You're saying Johnny?
Reluctantly, I am.
OK. Right. Shabs, would you please reveal your true identity?
My name is Shabs, and I used to park cars on Johnny's for...
Yes, Shabs is Johnny's parking prankster. Thank you very much, Shabs.
OK. As a child, I struck up a friendship with the 9 men who lived in my garden.
Lee's team.
Who were the 9 men that lived in your garden?
so they were gardeners. Which sounds weird, but in Zimbabwe, for your gardeners to live in your garden, it's not a big deal because there's so much space for them.
So how big was this garden?
It was huge.
I mean, in acreage.
What, 40 acres?
40
Is that
acres?
a lot?
Is it a lot?
At the time, I was a child, so I was interested in things like Pokemon, not acreage.
I was interested in acreage. If they lived there, at what point did they become not gardeners, but tenants?
So they provided services, right? So gardening, they were singing gardeners.
They were what?
They discovered they had a talent for harmonising.
Right.
So they would sing whilst gardening.
What were their names?
Yes.
OK, listen.
And if you say dopey and sneezy, etc., you're going to run out.
OK, one of them was called Clever. One of them was called Blessing. I can't remember the others. But what I do remember is my dad, I'm his only son, so I'm his pride and joy, OK?
Right.
This man would do anything.
You're his only son.
OK. I knew that he would rely on me to give him the word on the ground as to which gardeners should we get rid of. It's a lot of people to pay.
Ah. So he basically only wanted a couple, but he thought start with 9, get it down to 2, and they're the full-time gardeners. How old are you at this time?
It's like maybe 8, 9.
So did you whittle it down to 2 gardeners for your dad?
Eventually whittled it down to 1.
To 1?
Because one day I had a catapult and one of the gardeners was reading the Bible. I took a fruit. It was like a cherry, but orange.
Oh, an orange?
No, it was... It was as small as a cherry.
Oh,
so
right.
I take this
Tangerine.
cherry. Let me land.
A kumquat.
A kumquat. So, shot the kumquat, and it hit him at the back of the head. And he then went to my dad and said, look, this is what your son has done to me. So eventually we ended up with 1, and his name was Blessing. So it turns out to be the complete right
Do
name
anything
for
to him. Hit him with a rounder's bat. Didn't mind.
Yeah.
And you said they sung. They could harmonise.
Until 8 of them got fired, and then it was Blessing singing on his own. Covered in bruises.
What are you thinking, Alice?
I don't believe it. That seems like a very, very ornate tissue of lies to me.
What about you, Bob?
You wielded a lot of power as an 8-year-old.
You did, didn't it?
Weapons testing on your staff and...
I mean, he doesn't come out of it well, does he?
But I changed. I'm a changed man.
Right, what's it going to be?
I say true.
We'll say it's true.
You're going to say it is true. OK, Munya, was it true or was it a lie?
Well, it was indeed true.
Yes, it's true.
Possession.
There'll be a box at the side of your desk.
Yeah.
Take the item out of the box, put it on the desk, and once you've done that, read the card if you would.
This is my sports bag, and halfway through signing it, I told Pelé to put his pen down because I thought he was ruining it.
Please, team.
Well, that's very interesting. Is that a Brazil bag?
It's actually a New York Cosmos bag.
Oh, of course. So when did you meet Pelé?
Well, Pelé was the face of New York Cosmos. They paid him a lot of money to sort of front the rebranding of New York Cosmos. And
also the face of impotence.
Yes,
he is.
Yes, that's true.
Pelé was put up for an interview.
What year was that?
Probably about 2011.
So you already had that bag?
No, this was the bag that they gave you as like a goodie bag when you went to the press conference.
Was there stuff inside it?
There was some pencils and...
There were. There were some pencils.
There was
what did he say?
He said there was some pencils.
I meant to say there was a pencil.
Were there any pencils or not?
There were pencils in there.
All right.
Yeah.
See, there was pencils.
No, you...
There were some pencils in there and a flannel.
No, there were a flannel. May we have a look at the bag?
I'm told it's been sanitised. Let me
but he's touched it now.
I've only touched the back handle.
I'm going to put my arm through it like this.
I've never seen you look more handsome.
OK. That's interesting.
But if you look there, right, that says PE.
Well, it's a sports bag.
Exactly. amazing because the reason I didn't want him to sign it was because I wanted to use it in the gym, and now that's my gym bag with PE written on it, you see?
I mean, I understand the concept of not wanting a signature if you think the bag's better, but if he started it, is it not better to finish it than have just PE?
Right, so I'd taken a Brazil shirt with me.
For him to sign?
Yeah, so I gave it to the great man, and he signed the shirt, full signature on the shirt. And I think it was like an all the best Dan Pelé, OK?
I didn't know his first name was Dan.
I took the shirt, I turned and put it on my normal bag that I brought with me, and then when I turned back, the great man had my bag that he picked up, and without thinking, I said, "Not the bag, Pelé." And,
What an idiot Pelé is! Put the pen down, Pelé, you maniac!
What must Pelé have thought of you? Because this bag was given to you for free.
He sort of stared at me angrily, and then he said, "No one's ever asked me not to sign anything before."
Did he have a translator?
No, he spoke perfect English.
Really?
Yeah.
He does speak English.
Does he?
Yeah. Are you impotent? That's pretty good English if you know the word impotent. So, Dan, so at this point, they're looking at you as if... And he said, no one has asked me not to sign something before.
Yeah.
What happens then?
I think we can see why he signed the impotence contract.
Yeah.
Someone just put it in front of him.
Dan, I don't understand why you didn't want Pelé to sign a bag. Why?
Because I really like the bag.
Yeah, but imagine having a bag signed by Pelé, waiting until, God forbid, one day he passes on to a better place, and selling it on eBay.
So do you have a lot of signed memorabilia by people and you're waiting for them to die?
Well, all that stuff I've got you to sign. All those Peep Show DVDs, I'm not watching them, that's for sure. So, what are you thinking? Sarah, do you think this could be true?
No, I don't think anyone would stop Pelé signing their bag. I think it's a lie.
Mr. Motivator, MBE.
A lie.
OK. We're saying it's a lie.
It's unanimous. They think it's a lie. Dan,
yes.
It's a great story. Was it true or was it a lie?
I can tell you that the story is... true.
Yes, it's true. Dan really did stop Pelé from signing his bag.
Ah, right. Bins on. Right.
Can I just check, are they the right glasses? Because you're pausing.
No, I was once asked to host an awards ceremony after being mistaken for someone else.
Was it Rob Brydon? Was it Rob Brydon's son?
Oh, that death in paradise has gone downhill since Ardle left it.
Well, first of all, who was this person?
Well, our esteemed host.
So it was Rob?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
OK.
OK.
Do you know that you look alike?
Well, I don't know that. I do know this. He's a very good-looking man.
I mean, it's a pleasure being next to the handsomest man on television. That's all I can say.
Thank you very much.
So, talk us through how this mix-up came about, then.
I was at a do, and somebody asked me if I would host this particular awards.
And what were the awards
ceremony.
for?
It was sort of building industry contractors awards thing. Would I go and give out the awards for best cement? I said, "What's the fee?" By the way.
Oh, that's when he thought you were Rob Brydon.
And it was quite considerable, so I took it.
When they thought you were Rob, did you immediately say, "No, I'm not Rob"?
No, I just laughed it off.
Did you did the gig or you didn't?
Yeah, I did the gig.
Did?
Yeah.
I tell you what, when they saw you walk out, there'll be a fair few people saying, "Good God, he's shot up." I had that late growth spurt.
I'd like to know more about the cement. I don't think either of you would be booked for cement. I've done these gigs.
You've done these corporates
I've done
yourself?
chip fat.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, the Chip Fat Awards. Hold on. You haven't done the Chip Fat
There's
Awards.
a Chip Fat
I
Awards.
understand you would question my cement awards and then give me Chip Fat.
I don't believe it.
You don't?
I don't, and I'm really gullible.
Why don't you believe it?
It's the cement for me.
What about you, Ralph? What are you thinking?
I think it's a lie.
It's got to be a lie.
OK. Right. You lovely-looking man. Was it true or was it a lie?
It was true.
Whenever I'm in the recording studio, I can only rap in complete darkness.
Well, David, what are the chances that somebody else has the same method as you? What do you think?
Complete darkness.
Complete, absolute, nothing on.
Why?
Because I don't like anybody to see me when I'm performing. It's a bit weird, actually, when I think about it.
But you've got like 60 million views on YouTube.
It's different, though, because it's just me and the cameraman. And then, you know, when you get into the studio, it's quite intimate.
I feel anxious about the fire escape light. What do you do about that?
Classic Mike. She's talking rap, you're talking health and safety.
So let me ask you this, then. If it's total darkness, you can't be looking at any lyric... I was going to say sheet music, but I suppose if you're rapping, it's not that.
I'm so sorry about my granddad.
You can't be looking at lyrics. Have you memorised the lyrics, or are you improvising the lyrics?
Sometimes I will be prepared, so I've already written the lyrics in my phone.
Well, for your generation, the phone is a companion, isn't it? It's more than it is for Lee, which is sort of a lifeline. It's a friend, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Have you got the red button in the bathroom now as well?
Yes. And what about the other musicians in the studio?
So there was a time when I randomly ended up in studio with Peter Andre.
Peter Andre?
Yeah, so weird, isn't it?
Wow.
And
But his orange glow just lit up the room.
but he genuinely was saying, you know, what are you doing? I was like, this is the only way I can record.
So how did it come about?
So that came about because I was on the Celebrity Circle.
Alicia, for the sake of older guys like Lee, just explain the circle and what it was.
Right, so the Celebrity Circle, it was basically... It's like a text screen, and you can only
So, Rob, can you explain what texting is?
It's just that little thing on your phone when you
For
press
Lee,
send.
can you explain what a screen is? It's not that thing they bring round the bed when they change your dressing. It's a different sort.
For Rob, could you just speak a bit louder?
For Lee, could you not make any sudden movements?
Could you take Rob to the toilet?
What are we thinking? Philippa, this is one for a psychotherapist to unpick.
It's a lie, no.
You don't believe it? No, because I believe it.
And you're quite excited by it
Yeah,
as
no,
well,
no,
which is nice to see.
What do you think?
I think she's playing you like a fiddle. I think lie.
I'm very comfortable with this scenario because if you both think it's a lie, I'm not going to overrule you. We'll go lie, but I'll say, oh, actually, I thought it was true, and that is win-win. We are going to say lie.
All right, let's find out. Lady Alicia, was it the truth or was it a lie?
It was the truth.
Vindication! Congratulations. Yes, it's true.